are live, back in action, attacking your speakers from the field to the bleachers. This is Power 32 Podcast, and we are here 2 days away.
Yes, sir.
Start of the NFL season, Mr. Primetime. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. I want to thank everybody for celebrating Moving Day with Prime and the Prophet as we make a new home, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. live here on YouTube as we're going to tell you the week that is and the week that was in the NFL. So you want to make sure, tell your friends. I know a couple people might take a little bit of getting used to, but we are going to be here attacking your speakers every Tuesday night live at 7 p.m. So it is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. I know Prophet, you and I have been fiending, itching like crackheads for the last few months to get this shit started, and it's starting, and I can't freaking wait.
Here we go, baby. Here
what
we
up,
go.
Simon?
Time. What up, Simon in the house? Love it, appreciate it. As always, dude, 2 days away. We got Dallas, we got Philly, but no longer a Cowboy is Micah Parsons. I didn't get to hear your thoughts on it. So before we get into all the predictions, guys, we're going through every division, predictions, playoff teams, Super Bowl, MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, everything. We're hitting everything today. It is a prediction show. But before that, real quick, I got to hear what your thoughts are on the Mike Parsons trade.
Well, I'll be brief. I was kind of just as shocked as anybody was when I heard the news. I was actually going through the channels and flicking through everything, and Adam Schefter pops up. So naturally, your ears perk up when you see Shefty on TV. My biggest worry is that right now he instantly becomes probably 1A, 1B as far as best defensive player in the entire division. You know, Aiden Hutchinson, you can go either way. Aiden's coming off the injury, so probably you can put Micah at number one. And now a lot of the all the quarterbacks in the NFC North got something to really, really be afraid of now. The Packers were already a lot of people's pick to make the playoffs, and some people picked them to win the division. Now that they had Micah Parsons to a defense that was not great, but they were solid, especially on their front seven. I'm appalled at the way that Jerry Jones handled this situation.
Oy.
And I think that it's going to affect future free agents, because you're talking some high leverage, high end players that have had to wait for these contracts. And Jerry Jones should no longer ever be able to be allowed to negotiate contracts with your high level players. He really, really dropped the ball on this one. And I can't express enough, and I'm sure everybody's beat it like a dead horse already. I cannot believe that Jerry Jones let Micah Parsons get away. If you were going to trade him, you could have done it sooner and got more. If you signed him earlier, you probably could have signed him for less. Jerry Jones absolutely dropped the ball. The beneficiaries of that are the quarterbacks in the NFC East, because now they no longer have to worry about Micah Parsons, and it's taken a lot of people's win totals and playoff odds for the Cowboys down dramatically. So overall, it was a dropped ball move by the Cowboys. The Packers were right there to scoop and score, and that's exactly what they did. And tip your cap to the Packers, but Jerry Jones totally dropped the ball on this one, man. Totally.
Yeah, he did. He messed up. I mean, I said last week he got bluffed like Matt Damon around us over there.
I saw that.
Yeah, he bluffed it up, man. And Simon saying Jerry Jones and how he can stop with the run. He's losing it. Jerry Jones may be losing it. Oh, my goodness. Brian Jones in the house. What up, Brian? Got to say what's up to him right now. And Brian says Dallas goes 6-11. Oh, my goodness. Doormat City. Brian Jones not liking what's going on in Dallas right now, and a lot of people aren't. Man, we got a lot to get to. I said it was a decent trade for the Cowboys, but for this year, when you're going all in with guys like CD, you bring in George Pickens, you want Micah to be there. They just signed Bland to like $90 million.
That's insane.
What are you doing? How could you not pay Micah Parsons? It got ugly. It got personal. And that was the problem there. And now he goes to Green Bay. But you know what, man? I'm not that high on Green Bay. Yeah, they got Rashawn Gary. Those two good bookends right there. I do like Edgerrin Cooper. I like Quay Walker. But after that, like in the secondary, they can be had. So when you talk about Detroit and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta, talk about Caleb Williams maybe with Luther Burton, Colston Loveland, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore. These are threats right there. And Minnesota, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. I don't think that Green Bay is going to have a really good easy go as people think they do. I really don't. I got to be honest with you.
No, and I don't. And the one thing I can appreciate about you, one of the things, is your consistency, because you haven't, since you and I have been doing the shows together, and a couple times I co-hosted prior to becoming, on the show permanently, is the fact that you've never been really high on Jordan Love. You've never been really high on the Packers. I'm not, but the fact is that anytime you got a good quarterback play in the NFL can disguise a lot of issues. And, with some question marks, I'll be honest, with the Lions and their new offensive coordinators and such, new head coach with the Bears, new quarterback with the Vikings. I mean, the division in a lot of people's mind is up for grabs, but I'm kind of like you. They don't scare me as much, but that front seven, they're probably they're probably the best in the division, because the Lions still have a lot of question marks, but I don't see them doing anything like going to the NFC Championship game or anything like that. But
and the Packers, man, Green Bay, they drop more balls than like a middle school going to Cooper. Yeah, I mean, they really do.
I wonder how these guys have jobs.
Dropping, can't catch the freaking ball. That's why you're bringing Matthew Golden over there. Brian Dudek coming in here. I agree with Jason's partial help the Packers D, but one player doesn't make a guarantee in the Super Bowl.
Not unless it's Reggie White.
Yeah, but
not unless it's Reggie White.
Maybe the best defensive player of all time.
Right.
Michael Parsons is pretty damn good himself, but I don't know, man. One player does not make it. I totally agree. NFL, total team sport. So yeah, look. If the wide receivers could catch the ball, Josh Jacobs has a year like he did last year, and the defense could step up that front seven and kind of cover up that back end, then okay, maybe. But to me, I'm not big on Green Bay. We're going to talk about that as we get into the divisions right now. I went through every schedule, and I picked out the winners and losers. Now, I know it's not going to go that way, and some of the teams that I came up with, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, wait a second, 8 and 9? I'm like 7 and 10. I'm like, all right, well.
One of those teams, you're 49ers?
Yeah, well, 49ers
the 7 and 10? No, I'm just.
Yeah, I'll get to that, though.
I have a parting shot every week with the 49ers for those of you who are new to the.
But before we get to anything, our NFL trivia question is ready to go. Here we go. NFL is here, baby. We're ready to roll, and we all look forward to the Super Bowl. So you need to tell me who has the longest run for a touchdown in a Super Bowl.
I just read this. I'm just researching random stuff over the last few weeks, and it totally slips my mind. The longest run in a Super Bowl.
Look at you in your old age, man. It's coming in right now.
It is, man. I'm starting to have lapses. You know what? I can't even. Brian Jones says Willie Parker. Man, I can tell you who had the longest pick six or scoop and score in the history or interception.
Yeah,
James
I can
Harrison.
tell you that one too. Yep, that was amazing. What about the longest run from scrimmage for a touchdown?
Man,
tough one.
You know what? I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna say it's probably not somebody really old school. This is embarrassing because that's like a trivia question 101 when you're
Either you know it or you don't.
I don't.
Tick tock.
I don't. I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna have to throw in the mulligan. Jones is trying to give me a hint over here. 2005 season, but
Brian Jones is right. It is Willie Parker.
I was gonna, but I didn't want to use the chat to. and I knew it had to be somebody obscure,
I
just like the
appreciate
Timmy
that.
Smith with 237 yards and one Super Bowl. You never heard from him again for the Washington Redskins.
Well,
But I was trying not to use the chat. But Willie Parker, oh my God.
Yeah,
Who would
Willie Parker.
come on?
Fast Willie Parker. That was when Jerome Bettis,
Jesus.
his last year in Detroit, they played the Super Bowl, as you know.
Yeah,
and
and
he
he
walked
retired
off the
after
champion because he's from Detroit. But yeah, Willie Parker. Way to go, Brian. Nice.
Way to go, B. Way to go.
Steve-O was thinking on the defensive side, the longest turn Steelers linebacker Marvin Harrison.
That's what I was saying. Like the longest scoop and score. Well, no, that was an interception, actually, wasn't it?
It was
Or was that a
intercepted by
fumble?
James Harrison.
Yeah,
It was an interception. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
That's
All right.
crazy.
Tough question.
Willie Parker. How in the hell?
Bass Willie Parker. Yep, he just bolted out of there. 75, 76 yards. Yep. Good job.
I can
Brian.
detect the sarcasm in your voice when you say bolted his way out of there, because weren't him and Bettis like built kind of the same? Willie Parker was a
Willie
big
Parker
fella
was
too, wasn't he?
real fast. I mean, he was big, he was strong, but Jerome Bettis is on like a whole nother level.
The pride of Mackenzie High School. I actually, to show my age, I actually played a game against him in my freshman year of high school football.
Oh, how about that, man? Look at that. Oh, I love the coincidence. How you doing? Love it. Say what's up to Steve-O over here. He's a regular over here on the Power 32. We'd love to have him in. All right. We're going to open up the phone lines in a couple of minutes over here. We're going to start off with the AFC East. Who's going to win that division? Break it down 1 through 4.
The AFC East, I have the Bills, of course, winning that division. I think that's probably one of the easier picks.
Yeah.
I have them going 12-5. I know a lot of people have them winning 14 games. It's so rare to win 14, 15 games. We got spoiled last year because a couple teams did it. But I got the Bills. I have the Patriots. Then I have the Jets. And then I have the Miami Dolphins. So I actually came around to you a little bit on the Jets and Aaron Glenn. I just think that Tua doesn't make it through an entire season healthy. And we all know how Miami kind of dips a little bit when Tua's not in there. So I actually, my 1 through 4 in that division is Buffalo, New England, the Jets, and the Dolphins. And of course the Bills win in that division.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm with you with the Bills winning the division. I think they take a little bit of a step back this year. I'm not sure, even though they got James Cook in there. They're a little banged up a wide receiver, Khalil Shakir. Maybe you'll see a lot of 12 personnel with the Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. But I got the Bills 11-6. I got the Jets 9-8. I got the Patriots 9-8, and I got the Dolphins at 8-9. So, like you, I got the Bills winning that division, meaning that they are in the playoffs right there. So, You agree on that?
Absolutely. The Bills. One of the things that worried me about the Bills, real quick, is their receiving core, because they really don't have like that guy that can. They got Shenault and Shakir, but they really don't have. Their tight ends are probably their best, most consistent weapons, but you always got Josh Allen, so Josh Allen's going to make you a better team just because of his versatility. But the Jets and Aaron Glenn, Justin Fields, he's got a fresh start. So I can see them winning 9 games, 8-9 games. But I just feel something. I feel that coaching in the NFL is very underrated. And I think when you have a younger team, not a young team, but a relatively young team, and you bring in a veteran coach like Mike Vrabel, I think that makes all the difference in the world. And especially when you got a quarterback that's really trying to make strides like Drake May, I think that Mike Vrabel is going to allow the offense to do what they do. He's going to let his coordinators do their job, but he's going to focus on the defense. So we know that they're going to have a very stout defense. And there's a lot of people out there, I mean, you and I included, thinking that Drake May is going to take a step up. Now, will that mean playoffs? We'll see when we do our overall predictions for the playoffs. But, and then, like I say, the Dolphins are just the wild. I don't see them getting out of their own way. I see Tua getting injured, and I see the Dolphins 7-10, maybe. So it's going to be another down year, and this could be the last year for the little guy in glasses over there on the
Very
sideline.
possible. Well, Brian agrees. He's got Bills, Pats, Jets, and Dolphins. Simon, in your saying for the Dolphins,
Quinn,
yours will keep it going if Tua goes down. Well, speaking of Tua and the Dolphins, I think that they're going to be a little bit better than what people think. Not necessarily playoff bound. I got them at 8 and 9. They can score, but they can be scored upon a lot. So I worry about their defense. As far as the Patriots go, I just don't think they have enough weapons on offense. Maybe Travion Henderson comes out and does a remarkable job. Maybe Stephon Diggs gets back to what he was 2-3 years ago. It is possible, and Drake May takes that step forward. Hunter Henry in there. I'm just not 100% sure, but I got them going 9-8, so I see a big improvement. But I got the Jets going 9-8 too, and I feel like percentage points, they may beat them out a little bit. Look, I like their offensive line. I like their defensive line. When you talk about Quincy and Quinn Williams and guys like that. Sauce Gardner at cornerback. I like the Jets. I like what they have. But the Bills still are the cream of the crop in that division. We both can agree. They got the best team. They got the best quarterback. And when you have the best quarterback, you usually win. So there you go. We agree on the AFC East. Let's go to the North, bro. What do you got going on in the North?
The AFC North is probably one of the more difficult divisions to predict, because first thing you do is you look at Cincinnati and can they be as bad as they were last year on defense? Even if they're marginally better on defense this year, I think that accounts for another win or so, and that puts them in the playoffs. But I have the Ravens at 13-4. I have the Bengals at 11-7. I have the Steelers at 10-6, and I have the Browns at 5-12. Of course, that means that the Baltimore Ravens are going to win that division, and I think this is their year finally. I won't do that definitively until later on in the show, but I think this is the year that they at least put everything together. They have weapons on offense. They have weapons on defense. Their defense just keeps getting better and better, whether it's through the draft or guys they pick up, during the season or whatever. So one thing we know, Baltimore's going to have a great defense, and they're going to have great coaching. John Harbaugh, despite what we say about not winning a Super Bowl in a while, is still one of the best in the business. So when you look at that division, it's been a long time.
Is like Joe Flacco more beloved than Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, as of right now, that's probably the case, because he was the last Ravens quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and then you go back before that, you can even say it's Trent Dilfer. Come on. You got a two-time MVP. Far. No, maybe you got a two-time MVP. You have a probably surefire Hall of Famer in Derrick Henry. Here, real quick note. You know that for all of the accomplishments for Derrick Henry, he's still only 19th on the all-time rushing list.
Oh, really?
That's crazy. And he can probably pass Tony Dorsett and get into the top 10 with a decent year this year. But that kind of blew my mind that Derrick Henry is still 19th for all he's done. He's still only 19th on the all-time rushing list.
He's such a physical freak. It's not even normal how strong and durable that guy is, that he's going to be available, and he'll probably be somewhere near in the top 10 when it's all said and done. Guy is unbelievable. He really is. 2,000-yard rusher. Not many people can do that. Not bad. All right. We're going to open up the phone lines over here. 516-205-7574 if you want to get in. We're doing the North Division right now, but again, you can talk about anything that you want as we cover all 32 NFL teams on this show. But I agree. I think the Ravens are going to have a big year. I was thinking maybe 13, 14 games. I looked at the schedule. There are a couple of losable ones on there. So I went 12-5. With the Bengals, I went 11-6. I think they bounced back big time. The offense is going to rock. The defense will get better under Al Golden. The Steelers, dude, I don't see a good year for them. I went through the schedule, man. I'm thinking like 7-10. Not good right there.
Wow.
The Browns, Way worse. Horrible freaking team. 2-15. If they're lucky,
wow.
they'll be
I
2
thought
and
I was
15.
being generous with 5 wins. Did you see
No.
Kevin Stefanski get all up in Shadur's face at practice today?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
they have
just
no idea what they're doing.
they're
they
just
have-
a very
They have
dysfunctional
senior
organization.
citizen quarterbacks and then juvenile delinquents are quarterbacks. They have these kids are like 16 years old, and Joe Flacco's like 98. It's unbelievable, unreal. But with that, me and you agree the Ravens are going to win that division. Therefore, they will be in the playoffs. Well, all right, keep it moving. The AFC South. I'll start on this one, man. This division.
Is it as cut and dry, before you give your prediction, Jason, is it as cut and dry as everybody thinks it is? Because I'm hearing some things that are actually boggling my mind at the moment about that division. So is it as clear cut as we would like to think it is? Because when I look at the, you look at like odds, like you and I were talking before the show, you got Houston, I think, was like plus 110. And
Yeah.
Tennessee's plus 800. That's not a really big gap when you're talking division
No,
winners.
it's not.
So what's your? I'm curious to hear what you think on that.
People are liking the Titans. I am one that not ready there. I'm not there. Their defense, their coaching. Maybe if Mike Vrabel was there, I feel a little bit different. But I got them at the bottom of the division, going 5-12. I just don't see it this year. Not yet. They're going to need more time. They're going to need more preparation. I don't like it yet. But at the top of the I might as well go from bottom to top. So Titans at 5-11. The Colts, your boy Danny Dimes over there.
Yeah, baby.
Get it done.
Let's
Danny
get it
Nichols, Danny Pennies. I don't know. 6-11. 6-11. I don't like the Colts at all this year. I really don't. They do have some weapons. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs when he gets back. So,
and they got Tyler Warren at tight end, who everybody's
Tyler Warren.
expecting to have a big year, and they're
Tyler
only
Warren.
plus 375 to not win the division, depending
Man,
on where
when I looked at
depending
this
on where you
schedule,
look.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't like the way that it looked. Now we come to number 2. All right, who's going to win the division? Houston has been the staple of this division now for the past couple of years, right? C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins. You bring in Joe Mixon, even though you're going to go into Chubb this year for a while, and Joe Mixon's out. Look, their defense is phenomenal. Texans, Brian Jones saying Texans, all right, will be the only team in the division with a winning record. You know what, Brian?
I
disagree with you. I think that the Texans will probably go around 9-8, but the Jaguars are winning the division at 11-6. I looked at their schedule. It's not all about that. It's about the players that they brought in. It's about the coach that they brought in. I think this team takes a turn now. A little more stability on the offensive side. Defensively, they're underrated. The fact that they were on the field for so long, for so many downs, was a problem for them last year. Jacksonville, if they take an offensive step this year, which I think they will, I think they win the division, and I think they win it pretty easily at 11-6, Brian.
Wow, you talk about, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, you talk about a bold prediction. You heard it here first.
Brian don't like it.
Jacksonville winning 11 games and the division. I do agree a little bit that Liam Cohen can make a big difference. I just said earlier that coaching is underrated, and I think I've been bashing Trevor Lawrence all these years, but the fact is that guy has been dealt shitty hands. If we really, really want to be honest about everything, I think now with Liam Cohen, maybe this is the year that he finally puts it all together with him and ETN, and they got the potential is there. Am I ready to have them win the division? Not yet. I have the Texans. I got the Texans, Jags, Colts, and the Texans, Jags, Colts, and the Titans.
But every year we see these teams that come from out of nowhere.
But I don't
one
know.
One of them has got to be yours,
if you're, and you're a Florida guy, and I'm sure you hear all the talk every year about the Jags, and is this going to be the year that Trevor Lawrence finally, turns that corner? So turning the corner for them could be 10 games and maybe a wild card berth. Would that be considered a success in the first year for Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence's, engagement? But I still think defensively, the Texans have one of the top 5-6 defenses in the league. And I think when you start looking at Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson alone, you can stop there. And that would be enough. But
not to mention Derek Stingley Jr.
I mean, come on. What are we doing here? That's almost not fair. Not fair. You got one at every level. Yeah, and that's what you need. You got that superstar guy at every level.
It's stacked, man. I know.
But CJ Stroud, you should have a healthy Nico Collins. You should have a healthy Tank Dell. The biggest thing I worry about them is Mr. Mixon. Because I think Joe's Mixon's not going to play. There's some people saying he might not play all season.
That's why they brought in Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb probably won't play all season either. That guy, unfortunately, is getting hurt left and right.
Yep. So I got the Texans, I got the Jags, I got the Colts, and I have the Titans. I have the Jags or Texans going 11-7. I got the Jags at 9-8. I got the Colts at 8-9, and I have the Cam Ward-led Tennessee Titans at 6-11.
6-11. All right, not bad. Well, that's a step up. I mean, they had the number one pick last year, so not bad. All right, pretty good. All right, closing out the AFC. Where's there? Oh, Under the Helmet. Yo, what's up?
What up, Bill? Under the Helmet's in the house.
Stay under the helmet, man. He's in the house.
Wait. What do you mean you don't trust that QB in Indy? You don't trust Danny Dimes? You don't trust Danny Dimes? What you thought you're doing here? We can't. Come on.
Danny freaking Pennies.
But you know what? There's there's a lot of people out there. If you do a lot of research, real quick, 10 seconds. There's a lot of people out there that say that the Colts are going to win that division, and I have read that as recently as yesterday. I was a little bit flabbergasted. I'm a little bit biased because of all of the success that Danny Jones brought my Giants.
Sheesh. What you mean, like the Indianapolis Inquirer?
The Indianapolis Star or whatever the hell it is. But no, but yeah. But there are some people out there that have been smoking and drinking the Indianapolis Colts Kool-Aid, man. And I guess it's those big ass tenderloin sandwiches that you get in Indianapolis that they're known for. They're like the size of a hubcap. So people probably eat that, fall into a food coma, and just start saying incoherent shit.
And they following that Jim Jones style shit, man. They got
That's crazy.
Right. I do agree, Under the Helmet. That offense is going to be centered around Jonathan Taylor. He will be the main guy in that offense. And if teams know that may be a problem. But again, I like Pittman. I like Josh Downs when he comes back. These are pretty good guys. Tyler Warren, like you mentioned. So, yeah, they got players, but the quarterback, it's a little bit of an issue. All right, let's go to the West. All right, he ain't no Eli Manning, right, brother? Come on.
There you go. Let's say that again. Say it with your chest.
Ain't no Eli Manning.
Oh, man. AFC West.
To the West we go. I am done denying the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best team in football. I mean, maybe next to the Eagles, the best team in the AFC. They're in the Super Bowl every year. They win the division, but it's close. They go 12-5, and the Chargers go 12-5. I'm big on the Chargers. You heard me talk about them. It's killing me that Rashawn Slater is not in there. That is a big freaking deal. And Brian likes Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. I'm a little bit different over there. I like Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos. I do like them to go 9-8. They have a tough schedule this year. I mean, a lot of teams in that division do. But here's the kicker for you. The Raiders, when I went through their schedule, I couldn't find more than 4 wins, Prime. 4 wins.
For the Raiders?
4-13.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be one of those years where Pete Carroll's going to have the look on his face like Bill Belichick had last night. Like, why the hell did I, they had a 7, they led 7-0 and then just got ransacked. Like 41 unanswered. So, yeah, Pete, this might be his only year that he coaches the Raiders. He's going to find out very quickly that the talent's just not there yet. And I don't think he's going to be around long enough to see anything come to fruition with the Raiders. So.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know why he took that job. I don't get it. But
and they're plus 2,000. Chiefs are minus 110. Chargers are plus 310. Broncos are plus 350. The Raiders are plus 2,000 to win that division. So
I'd take a flyer on the Chargers.
What's that?
I would take a flyer on the Chargers right there.
Yeah.
All right.
And so
I like that. I like that. I dig.
So
all right. 5 wins tops for Vegas. Yeah, man, I'm with you, man. 4-13. I don't like the way it looks. I know they got their rookie Ish Genti in there. I'm a big fan of Max Crosby. I might talk about him a little bit later, but Geno Smith, you really don't do it for me. He's getting a little bit older right now. I don't know. We are doing the AFC right now. We're about to jump over to the NFC, but we have our wild card teams to get to. So we're going to list all 7 of our AFC playoff teams if you guys want to get in. I know the number is a little hard to see, but if you put on them glasses, man, get a microphone, listen to me, a magnifying glass, some shit like that.
Or that.
Yeah, or that.
Or your meta glasses or whatever the hell the kids are doing nowadays. You can put a nice, Tom Collins glass and put it up there and see it. For those of you, I just showed my age with a Tom Collins.
Do it old school, baby.
The reset. The Tom Collins glass reset.
Yes,
only
sir.
Here on the Power 32.
All right, we got 516 205 7574. As you say, what's up? To McNiner in the house.
McNiner is in the house. Why are the 40? Oh, here we go. You're baiting me, McNiner. I'm not going to fall for it yet. You're baiting me. After last week, you're baiting me. So we'll get to that. But
McNiner, why are the 49ers
he starts off with guns blazing
favorites to win the NFC West? Oh boy,
I don't know.
We're gonna get there. All right. So AFC, we both got the Bills. We both got the Ravens. Now you got the Texans. I got the Jaguars. And we both got the Chiefs. Now, who are your other 3 playoff teams?
So I have Baltimore, Buffalo, KC, and Houston. I have the Chargers. I have the Broncos. I'm still high on. They can only get better.
All right.
And making their way into the playoffs after a 2-year absence is Mr. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Kind of like that.
So I have my honorable mention would be the New England Patriots, just because I'm so high on Mike Vrabel. I do agree with you that the offense kind of worries me a little bit, but coaching, and if Drake May can take that step, I think he's going to take that step that a lot of people think that J.J. McCarthy's going to take in Minnesota, minus Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. I mean, it makes a little bit of a difference. No T.J. Hawkinson and Aaron Jones and all those guys, but Baltimore, Buffalo, KC, Houston, Chargers, Broncos, and the Cincinnati Bengals. And as a side note, I think this might be, in spite of what I said earlier, this will be a year that the Pittsburgh Steelers actually missed the playoffs. I don't even think, even if they made the playoffs, they're not going to win anything. So it's probably best for them not to. But Cincinnati reclaims their spot in the NFC or AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, I think so too. And Brian jumping in here, Brian Jones. I'm on the road, but Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Patriots, Broncos, and he's got the Steelers in there. Very possible. I don't know. They got a tough schedule, man. It was harder than I thought. All right, let me give you mine. I got the Bills winning the division, Ravens winning theirs, the Jaguars. Yes, I know. The Jacksonville freaking Jaguars are winning the AFC South. The West won by the Chiefs. Your wild card teams are the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers. You got the Cincinnati Bengals. They're coming back roaring this year, no doubt about it. And my biggest one for you all, you ready for this one?
Don't do it.
Jets. J-E-S. Jets. Yes.
So it's going to be just end the season in the playoffs is what you're saying. That's a very, very bold prediction. But to be fair, you've been you've been kind of kicking the tires on the Jets for the last couple months. So it's not a total surprise that you picked them. It to me, I don't think they're ready. I don't think Justin Fields is that guy yet, but I do think that they play a lot better than they have over the last couple seasons. He'll put up better stats than Aaron Rodgers did.
He didn't play so bad last year, man. They were 4-2, and he was a starter, and they gave him minimal, duties. I think he could do a lot more. Now he's hooked up back with Garrett Wilson, who we play with in Ohio State. Very interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, brother. All right. We have our AFC teams down. Let's go through the NFC right now. NFC East, we will start there. The Philadelphia Eagles won the division last year. I have no reason to doubt they will do it again this year. They will go 12-5, maybe have a better record, but they do play a couple of tough teams. Next up, finishing in second place, Dallas Cowboys, man. The Dallas Cowboys. I know everybody's in love with Washington. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. I love you. I want to hug you. I love Jane and Daniels. You're the most amazing thing that has ever happened in the entire world. Calm down. All right. They won a lot of close games last year. They won a game on a Hail Mary. I don't know about it. The Commanders, to me, they take a step back, and Vegas agrees with me. They got them at 8.5 wins. I got them at 8-9 prime. I don't think that they get better this year. I think they get worse. And they brought on Von Miller and Bobby Jones. That'd be great if it was like 8 years ago. But it's not. Come on. Brian Jones got Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys. Ooh.
Oh wow, that's bold.
Ooh,
that's very, very bold right there.
Again, prime, I got Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants at 6-11. So right there on that mark right there. Well, yeah, I know, Simon. Prophet's like, what?
I don't know. Simon, I think it's the Lake Okeechobee swamp water or something he's been drinking down there because, but no, I think you're right on Washington. I think they take a step back. I have the Eagles being the first team to repeat win that division since the Philadelphia Eagles in 2003, 2004. I have the Eagles. I have the Commanders. I have the Cowboys, and then I have the Giants, but I don't have the Giants winning 6 games. I think the Giants win 8 games this year.
Ooh, I really do. Okay.
I really do. I think they're.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is that Jackson Dart? Does he have anything to do with that?
No. It has everything to do with the freak shows that they have on defense. You got Ozarike, you got Abdul Carter, you got Dexter Lawrence, you got Thibodeau, who I didn't even want them to draft. Full disclosure, I didn't even want.
Look at them now. Yeah.
And so I think the Giants are going to win 8 games. Now, there's a caveat to that. If it gets to the point, and I mentioned this a few weeks ago, if it gets to the point where the Giants see that they, a Russell Wilson injury or something like that, because remember, they kept Jameis Winston, they cut Tommy Cutlets. So,
yes, they did.
So they
got
allowed
to cut Cutlets. That's how
Tommy
you do.
Cutlets. They cut him there. Oh, I forgot about Brian Burns. There you go. Thank you, under the helmet. How could I forget about Brian Burns?
Yeah.
But yeah, so their defense is going to keep them in. They'll win a lot of games, 20-17. And that's why I got them at 8-9. The Commanders, the step back is probably 10 games for them. I think a lot of teams are going to catch up with them, but as we talked about a couple weeks ago, Prophet, is this going to be the last year for Cliff Kingsbury? If Jaden Daniels has another above average season and that offense runs above average like it did last year, Cliff Kingsbury could be gone. He could be the next head coach of a team that's looking for somebody going in the next season. What do you think?
Yep. Offensive coaches are the ones who are getting jobs right now. It's not really defensive guys. It's moved to an offensive league. Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. No doubt about it. All right. So, Giants, we're hoping for better. I'm a New York guy. They're not my team, but especially for you, Prime, hope they do well. All right, well, let's see. Now we have another one of your divisions over here, the NFC North.
Oh, hold on.
You got to switch hats?
I got to switch hats real quick. Let's
Surprised you don't change your whole freaking wardrobe and put on a
Right?
All right. What do you got for the NFC North, man?
NFC North, I have the Lions at 11-7. I got
11-6.
11-6. I got the Packers at 10-7. I got the Chicago Bears at 9-8, and I got the Minnesota Vikings at 7-10.
Wow, you really hating on Minnesota, man? Do you not like me, or is it that you don't like Minnesota?
It's the quarterback, man. It's JJ McCarthy, and I get it.
Damn, Brian agrees with you.
Let's
Brian Dudek agrees with you.
Let's play a game. First of all, I'm a Wolverine fan, so I love JJ. But if people don't think that your boy, your favorite quarterback in the entire history of the NFL, Jimmy G, if people don't think that Jimmy G can come in with the offense that the Rams have and come in and kind of keep things going if something happens to number 9, what the hell makes anybody think that JJ McCarthy can do anything with the even though he has all the weapons, can do anything better than 7-10, maybe 8 games? Because remember, they have a very, very brutal schedule as well. There's a likelihood that McCarthy doesn't even start the entire season. As far as getting hurt again or just being so bad that they decide to go in another direction. What
about C.J. Stroud? What about Jaden Daniels? What about Drake May? What about these quarterbacks who were drafted early and thrown in?
And I'm not saying he's a bust, but like I said, if people aren't high on Jimmy G, so you're saying you would rather, let's put this in a what if or a who'd you rather? Would you rather have Jimmy G or JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
Because I know what Jimmy G is.
You just hate Jimmy G, though. You fucking hate. Your hate for Jimmy G is unwarranted, man. I've
seen what he can do and what he can't do, and what he can't do sucks.
Here we go, McNiner. Here we go. It's starting. But no, and under the helmet, there's a lot of pressure on JJ. They have to rely a lot on a run game. They don't have a good enough defense to win some of those games. That's it in a nutshell. It's not that I hate JJ. It's just that I don't think he can do enough, even with you. Because remember, Addison's missing a few games. Justin Jefferson has an injury history. So you're relying on T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, and a defense that's probably middle of the pack at best with a brand new quarterback. I can't. And JJ's mobility will be able to extend play. But I just don't see them, not this year. Maybe in a year or two, but just not this year, man.
Coaching, Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores. But you know what? Brian Jones, he's agreeing with you. He's got the Vikings in 3rd. Simon got the Vikings in last.
Yeah, that's.
And what is under the helmet got? There's a lot of pressure
on
JJ. They have to
run the ball. And like you said, their defense isn't really great enough to. It's not like, and I can't believe I'm saying it. It's not like the Giants where you got Russell Wilson. Even if they threw in Jackson Dart, that defense can win them some games. Minnesota's defense, to me, is not good enough to win them games. So there's going to be a lot put on the shoulders of J.J. McCarthy right off the bat in his first year start.
Yeah, look at my man McNider coming here. My stinky sock equals Richard Garoppolo.
He government named him. He did. Damn. Simon says, don't forget about Adam Thielen. Yeah. Adam Thielen is about as good right now as Cooper Kupp. I compare those two almost identically. So they could have a good year for you, or they could not even make it through the entire season.
All right. Well, you got the Lions winning that division. I do as well at 11-6. A little bit of a step back, but they're still going to be a really good team. I think the competition around the league is a little better now. I think that there are better teams, and teams are on the come up, and any given Sunday, all that blah 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 blah. But I like the Lions 11-6. I like the Vikings, man, and I'm gonna laugh at all your freaking faces at the end. I like the Vikings, and under the helmet, I love Kevin O'Connell as a coach as well. The guy he made Sam Darnold look like Joe Montana last year. That is freaking normal. So I'm going with the Vikings, number 2 at 10-7. The Packers, I'm sorry. I don't believe in them. I really don't. I don't care that they got Micah. He's not going to make the entire team. They'll go 9-8. And the Bears, they're not ready yet, man. They have a lot of young players. Ben Johnson trying to get on track with Caleb Williams. I don't see more than 6-7 wins out of the Bears, man.
You do realize, though, that Ben Johnson is minus 650 to win Coach of the Year. That's that somebody
Yeah, well,
is
because
saying.
it
I
makes
mean,
sense.
you know, I mean, so and I told you I've been saying it for months that the Bears roster, if they can get average quarterback play from Caleb Williams, that roster scares the hell. That offensive roster scares the hell out of me. You got Komet and Loveland, so now you got to worry about that's your Gronk and your
Aaron
your
Hernandez.
other guy, yeah, who shall remain nameless.
Yeah, really. I know.
You got a Dunze, you got DJ Moore, and then you know their biggest question mark. I'm sorry, it's plus 650 for Ben Johnson, but their biggest concern probably is running back. But I think they can address that and go running back by committee.
And
It's
they
all
got
going to
DeAndre
fall on
Swift.
how quickly Caleb Williams can grasp this offense, because Ben Johnson's offense, which is Dan Campbell's offense, so people stop with the Lions are going to fall into the abyss. That I keep saying that's Dan Campbell's offense. Ben Johnson just called the plays. Anyway, it'll be very interesting to see if Caleb Williams can play above average. Chicago might surprise a lot of teams and be in the playoffs. I'm not ready to go that far right now, but don't be surprised 7 to 8 games into the season that they're 5-3 and people are really starting to get high on them.
Under the helmet, asking real quick. Well, not asking, making more of a statement that Caleb got no excuses this year. You named a whole bunch of weapons out there. He's got to get the job done.
Yep. In fairness, he's got a couple of excuses. He's got a brand new coach and a brand new system. So this system is not last year. Eberflus. This is a very complicated system that he's being asked to learn. But like I say, man, if he can play above average, Bears are going to be scary. And if not this year, definitely next year.
Yeah, I'm looking more to him next year, but we'll see. All right, NFC South. A lot of people love the Falcons. Oh, the Falcons are going to come out to see Michael Penix. Get the fuck out of here.
Why don't you say what's really on your mind, man? Jeez.
The Bucs are better, man. They're going to win
It's
that
not even
division.
close.
The Bucs are
It's
freaking better. They're better all around. I know right now they are missing wide receiver help in Tillman and Godwin. But when they get them back, you know, they're going to make a Ibuka now, Mike Evans, Bucky Irving, a good defense. I think they dominate that division 12-5. The Falcons, 8-9. They ain't going nowhere. No playoffs for them. And I think the Panthers and the Saints are going to try as hard as hell to win. But the Panthers maybe 5 wins, and the Saints maybe 3-14, 2-15. They're going to suck.
Wow. And I agree with you on the order. Bucks 12 games, Atlanta wins to me 8 or 9 games, and then the Panthers and the Saints bring up the rear. The Panthers probably win 6 games because remember, you know, people were high on the progress that Bryce Young made at the end of last year, and we've talked about on this show.
Yeah, I like it.
You know, so and they got Ted McMillan. Their offensive line is a little bit more solidified. I'm still not sold on their defense. And I'm still not sold 100% on their running game. And the Saints are going back to being the Aints. But to that point, you know, Tampa Bay plus 105, Atlanta plus 250, Carolina plus 425. So the top 3 teams in that division, from an odds standpoint, to win that division are very close. And then you got the Saints bringing up the rear at plus 1,500.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Bucks to win. They'll, like I say, they might even win third. They'll go 5-1 in their division. They may lose 1 game to Atlanta or New Orleans because they always do. But after that, man, it's going to be a coast for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay might be one of the most prolific teams in the league this year, even without Liam Cohen.
Brian Jones and Brian Dudek both agreeing right there. Under the helmet, he's got Tampa. Then he's got the Panthers sneaking in there. He don't like the Falcons either. He's got the Falcons 3rd and the Saints 4th. Simon's got the Bucks, Panthers as well, then Falcons, then Saints. Not a lot of love for the Atlanta Falcons on the show right now, man.
Well, and here, if all else fails, you got that other guy behind Michael Penix. Still got that guy.
Oh, goodness God, yeah. That's
still
what
got Captain Kirk.
Do.
Captain Kirk, the most highly paid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
You like that? Yeah. Whatever the hell we said.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Well, we agree. Bucks winning that division. Okay, we agree way too much right now. I think a disagreement is coming.
It's coming.
In the NFC West.
It's
no
coming.
doubt about it.
McNiner, where you at?
Would you like to reveal yours?
Yes. I have the Rams. I have the Niners. I have the Seahawks. No, I'm sorry. I have the Rams, the Cardinals, the Niners, and then the Seahawks. So I got the Rams winning 11-6. I got the Cardinals at 11-6. I have the Niners at 9-8, and I have the Seahawks at 8-9 or 7-10, depending on if they can sneak a game or so here or there. Under the helmet has them winning the division, the Seahawks. That's insane.
Yeah, wow.
We don't disagree a lot under the helmet, but yeah, and that's, of course, he makes another good point. That is all contingent on those three words. Matthew Stafford's back.
Surviving the season, yep. And Brian Jones, he likes Niners, Rams, Cards, Seahawks. Man, I hope you're right. Seahawks, to me, at the bottom. I am not a Sam Darnold guy. I like their defense. They got good players. I like JSN. I'm just not sure there's enough right there. They're going to have to really run the ball a lot in order to be a good team. Seahawks 7-10. Coming in third, I went through the schedule, man. I even tried to pick out wins that I thought I can't do it, man. 9-8, 49ers 9-8. A decent year, but not good enough. It's all contingent again upon their running game as well. A lot right there. And who's going to win the division? We got two teams left: Cardinals or Rams.
Now, I already know where you're going.
If Matthew Stafford's back was healthy,
you've hinted to this.
If there was no problem with Stafford's back, I'd say, boom, no doubt. Rams in there. I might even put them in the freaking Super Bowl. But I can't trust a 37-year-old man's back before the year even starts. That's going to be problems. And my boy, Jimmy G, is going to come in and save the whole freaking world.
Exactly. You said it right. We can end the show on that note. You heard what Prophet said. He committed to Jimmy G and the Rams. See, my problem is that as soon as the Rams signed Devontae Adams, I instantly put them right up there. So I'm so in with the Rams right now that I would look like a big ass hypocrite if I went back now.
Yeah,
so
you're in. Yeah,
so Jimmy G, you son of a gun, you better make the Prophet look bad if something happens to Matthew Stafford, because I'll fly to LA and bad things will happen.
I hope Brian Jones makes me look bad because I don't like this schedule. I put him at 9-8.
Well, now he's starting to sound like McNiner. I think the floor is 13 games and the ceiling is 13 games and the floor is 11.
I'll take it.
You didn't hear my rant at the end of last week's show. You need to go back and listen because I chopped that off. There's absolutely no way, Brian Jones. Absolutely no way.
Yes, Brian, there is. Exactly. Jimmy Jones. Listen.
Jimmy Jones. Freaking fast.
Garoppolo, freaking no good, man. He's done, dude. He's got way too much gray in his hair. He's not the playboy he used to be. He's over, man. He's out. Done. Forget about it. And under the helmet, the Seahawks defense is scary as well. Yeah, they are. And they got the beast secondary in the West, the best secondary in the West, excuse me. I do like Seattle in that respect, but when your quarterback is beyond middle of the pack, 20th, 22nd in the league, maybe at best, you're not going to win. Prime. Quarterback is everything. Look at the quarterbacks in the playoff last year. I'm not going to go through the whole list right now, but the ones in the playoffs last year, they were top of the league quarterbacks.
You're right. And so that immediately eliminates Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And under the helmet, kind of hit it right on the head. And this is the reason why last week, this is what kind of started my whole rant, was I don't trust the 49ers receivers.
They don't have any healthy ones. Nobody's healthy.
The only thing, they'll be like the Giants. They'll be a lot like the Giants, where Robert Saleh coming back to that defense is going to make things a lot better on their defense. Even though they lost a ton of guys, you still got some really good players on that defense. So, but their offense, outside of CMC, like I said last week, outside of CMC and Kittle, who scares you on that team? Kittle is their number one offensive player. CMC can't stay healthy. Brandon Ayuk can't stay healthy. And so That leaves what's his name? Numbnuts, Ricky Pearsall. I'm not
Ricky
afraid.
Pearsall.
I'm not
I like
afraid.
Juwan Jennings. He's a good player.
But isn't he hurt now too?
He's hurt. Yeah.
I mean, so
oh God, under the helmet. Is he trying to say I really like Sam Darnold and look what he did under O'Connell in Minnesota? Yeah, that's the problem. I think it was under Kevin O'Connell, and it's going to be under Mike McDonald, who I don't know about that. He's more of a defensive guy. I don't really see it working out with Sam Darnold in Seattle. He's going to be on his 10th team in the next year or something like that. I mean, he is flying all over the damn place.
And Simon kind of alludes to how weak the Niners schedule is, and that's true. Their schedule, they got one of the fluffiest schedules in the league. But again, nobody on that offense really scares me. And then of course Brock Purdy doesn't scare me either at quarterback. So that division, if Matthew Stafford goes down, that division's up for grabs. So now you go to who's the best quarterback in that division. So by default, you would almost have to say Kyler Murray is the best quarterback in that division, and we'll get to that when we start doing the playoffs. So
maybe so. All right, let's put it into order over here. We have the NFC playoff picture. What is it looking like for you, Prime?
NFC playoffs, I got the Lions. I got the division winners. I got the Lions, Philly, Rams, and Tampa. My wild card teams are the Green Bay Packers, the Washington Commanders, and the Arizona freaking Cardinals.
Oh, you do? You came around to my side.
Yeah, I did. I figured you'd like that. I just
wow.
I come on, Kyler, little fella.
Yeah, little fella.
Little fella. You gotta do it, man.
Come on, little guy.
You know, and we've talked about. I think the Cardinals are probably the most polarizing team in the league when it comes to, are they going to do it? Are they not? Are they going to do it? Are they not? Everybody, we've expected so much for so long from Kyler Murray. You almost think, Prophet, it has to happen by default. He's got to, one of these years, something had, just the odds and the odds, something has to happen for this team. And I think so, it's a perfect storm. All the receivers hurt for the Niners, questions with Matthew Stafford, and Sam Darnold starting for the Seahawks.
Seattle.
It's the perfect opportunity, guys, in the chat and people watching and listening and calling. It's the perfect opportunity for the Cardinals to sneak their way into the playoffs. And that little fella, he's just small enough. He can get low enough to the ground. He can do the army crawl, and he can sneak right in.
Right.
They might even win a playoff. They might even win a playoff game.
Here we go. I got the Arizona Cardinals winning the NFC West. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the South, the Lions in the North, Eagles in the East. And my 3 wild card teams are the Dallas Cowboys, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Los Angeles Rams, because I think they'll win enough games in order to make it in and sneak in. And the fact that I don't really like the rest of the NFC. I mean, I'm not high on the Packers. I'm not high on the Falcons. I don't like the Commanders this year. So I think the Rams may sneak in.
You don't think that the Packers are even good enough to make the okay?
No.
I here. I love you. I really do. You think that the Vikings are going to have a better year than the Green Bay Packers, and not only have a better year, but be good enough to make the playoffs?
I sure do, man.
You heard that here first, ladies and gentlemen. Prophet's pick. Wow. I mean, I've been high on teams, but I guess I can't say anything. I just predicted the Cardinals going to the playoffs, so I guess I don't have any room to talk.
Crazy. Both crazy. What has Brian Jones got? Commanders, Lions, Tampa, Niners, wild card, Eagles, Packers, and Rams. All right, well, he likes you back too.
Yeah, Brian.
Packed it in.
Under the helmet says, "Damn, Prophet, you're really high on Dallas."
Yeah, I know. Brian Jones don't like it either. He ain't liking that Dallas won 6 games and are playing in a half-empty stadium past Thanksgiving.
That's crazy.
Boy. Yeah, Jerry Jones' worst nightmare.
Oh, I'd send him to the grave. That would send him right to the grave.
That'll be it. All right, Super Bowl time. Here we go. Prime. You're going to love this one, man.
Uh-oh.
The Detroit Lions are going to represent the NFC this year. I do think so. I think they're the best team out there. I'm a little worried about Philly in some ways, even though I do think that, yeah, probably pound for pound, they're the best team. But I think Detroit might have a better record and be in the dome and have home field advantage throughout. Maybe that's why they get in there. So I like the Lions. And you know what? I think it's the Ravens' year. I really do. I think it's the Ravens' year. They've been waiting a long time. They got power all over the place. Lamar Jackson is freak. Derrick Henry's still doing his thing. You know, Rashad Bateman has gotten better. Zay Flowers. We know what their defense can do. I like on the back end with Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. Dude.
He just got paid, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God, that guy is. You talk about
he's a beast.
We don't talk enough about him as one of the best defensive players in the league because we always talk about Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Michael Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson. Kyle Hamilton is probably the most versatile defensive. I would love to have him on any of my teams.
We got more Lions.
I love him, man.
More
I
Lions.
really do.
Brian Jones, Chiefs Lions.
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl's in. Where is it at this year?
San Fran.
Oh yeah, that's out there. Oh, you would love that if the Niners happen to.
Oh my God!
So you have the Ravens
right out there.
You have the Ravens and the Lions. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, Ravens, Lions, and I think the Ravens are going to be a little bit too much, man. I got Baltimore.
Well, Simon, Brian Dudek, under the helmet. Where's mine?
A lot of people like the Lions.
I'm gonna take this hat and I'm gonna do like like when the high school guys commit.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna have to put this one down. I have been here, and this is because I know we'll have probably mid-season predictions or something like that too. But right now, I have to stick with my guns, and I have to go the Los Angeles Rams versus the Baltimore Ravens, and your eventual Super Bowl champions are going to be. This is John Harbaugh's year. Okay. The Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl over the Rams, and it's probably not going to be close. If no other team all season long tests that back of Matthew Stafford, I promise you the Baltimore Ravens will.
Yeah, man.
And I think they're good enough against the run. They're good enough against the pass. They have enough on offense, and the Rams defense, even with your boy, Jared Verse and company, they just don't have enough to stop Lamar. And I think this is the year Lamar finally puts the turnovers and all that stuff to the side, and he finally becomes that guy that everybody thought. So now they'll have a Super Bowl ring to go along with those two MVPs. I think this is their year.
All right, very possible, man. Under the helmet, I also really want to see the big guy from Orchard Park.
I would love it.
He's
my starting fantasy quarterback.
He'll win. Yeah, that's right. He'll win one. And we're going to talk fantasy next week, too. All right, let's close it out as we're getting a little later over here than I thought, but that's okay. MVP of the league. I alluded to it a lot this year, and I placed a bet on it. Plus 4,000. They got George Pickens.
It's crazy, dude.
CD Lamb. Give me Dak Prescott for MVP. I think he's going to throw 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, maybe 7 or 8 picks.
Well, now he's going to have to. Because any plans that they had of playing casually and running the ball and balance, that shit's all out the window now because you're going to have to, because you're going to probably be the Cincinnati Bengals of this year because your defense is going to absolutely suck.
You're right. So that's why I like Dak putting up a lot of numbers. And the fact I have him in the playoffs makes it more viable that the fact that he could possibly win. So I like him for MVP. Dak may throw 20 interceptions, Brian is saying. He likes Pat Mahomes for MVP. Well, you're not going out on a ledge over there, man.
Right. And I'm really not either. And here, real quick, we got Lamar plus 500, Joe Burrow plus 600, Josh 550, Pat 650, Jaden 850, Jalen Hurts. Now it starts to get into 4 figures. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, 1,800, 1,600, 1,600. And they still got your boy Dak Prescott at like plus 4,000.
Unbelievable.
So Trevor Lawrence has almost as good odds of winning MVP as Dak Prescott. If you have not put a few chips on that one, ladies and gentlemen, you're missing out, because Prophet and I, as soon as we found that out, I think we both went right to our bank accounts and said, yeah, give me a little something, something. But my MVP, I'm not going on a limb. I'm going to say this is here. This is the Cincinnati Bengals revenge tour. And I think that Joe Burrow, he should have won it last year. If they would have gotten to the playoffs, Joe Burrow with the season that he had would have won it.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm not going on a limb here. I'm going with Joe Burrow for your MVP.
Under the helmet, is that Joe Shiesty? Is that what he's talking about for me? I wonder. But all right, Joe Burrow for MVP. Yeah, he could have won it last year, man. He put up the numbers, no doubt, and he likely will have to put up similar numbers this year if they get in the playoffs. Yep, you might book it, man. I like it. All right, MVP. I got Dak. You got Burrow. My offensive player of the year. I'm sticking with the Cowboy theme over here. I don't know, but I think CeeDee Lamb. I'm not saying he's going to win a Triple Crown, but he'll be a candidate. He'll have the receptions, he'll have the touchdowns, he'll have the yards, and George Pickens is going to make it easier for him, as he'll have less double coverage, triple coverage, whatever you want to call it. CeeDee Lamb is a monster, and I think that it's going his direction.
You use the M word.
Well,
monster. I've never, for whatever reason, I've never been high on CeeDee Lamb, but I respect what he's done. No, never. But the numbers that he puts up every year, being on a mediocre, yes, they're a mediocre Dallas team. You kind of got to respect him. So he's your offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
So I was torn between two. One of them was my hometown guy, Mr. Gibbs, because I do think that John Morton, the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, is going to lean a little bit more heavily on it. He's going to showcase Gibbs like you guys do CMC, like Kamara used to be, those types of guys, the Marshall Faulks of the world, with just, 10 times faster. Yeah. I was torn between him and the guy that Brian Jones highlighted in his chat. But overall, like I said, this is the Cincinnati Bengals revenge tour. So my MVP is Burrow. My offensive player of the year is his teammate from LSU, Mr. Ja'Marr Chase.
Oh, okay. Brian agrees right there with that. Offensive player of the year, Ja'Marr Chase. Okay. Could have won last year. Triple crown. Triple freaking crown, man. Unbelievable. Could have won it last year. But Saquon run for over 2,000. Yeah, I guess so. Got to give it to him. Not a bad idea. I like it. All right. Defensive player of the year. Now, I told you this team is not going to do well at all, Prime. They're going to suck. They're going to be 4-13, 5-12. Terrible. But you can't deny somebody breaking the sack record. And that's one of my bold sports prophetic predictions of the year, that Max Crosby will break the sack record this season. Defense player of the year.
Okay, I have to ask. I wouldn't be doing my job and informing the chat public if I didn't ask why you believe that.
I believe that because he doesn't have a brain that is wired correctly. He goes out there and he is just trying to chew people, eat people,
like kneecaps,
face apart. He is a monster, a madman. He has no skin. He's covered in tattoos. I'm deathly afraid of him. If I were to get into a fight with him, I would shit my pants. Max Crosby is a monster.
That is awesome. I can't disagree too much. However, I'm going to double dip here. I'm going to double dip. So my defensive player of the year, and as soon as I say this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. My defensive player of the year and my comeback player of the year are the same guy. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Defensive player of the year and comeback player
is the same guy. Anybody in the chat?
Who could it be? Defensive player of the year and a comeback player?
Big serious injury. Only played a few games. And
Aiden Hutchinson. Oh,
Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden
Yep, Simon,
Hutchinson.
it's Hutch under the helmet. You got it. I'm double dipping.
Yeah,
Double
good call,
dipping. He's going to
guys.
get Defensive Player of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. He
Ooh,
was
I
on his
like
way to. He
that.
was on his way to Defensive MVP last year.
You are double dipping. I
I'm double
love it,
dipping.
man.
I'm a homer.
There we go.
I'm homing on that one because I just think that once he gets going again, and he may get off to a slow start. His first 2-3 games, you might be at prime. You're an idiot. But I think once he gets the ball rolling, I really, really do think that he's special. This guy is special, man. He's going to be the first $50 million a year defensive player.
Maybe.
And under the helmet says Bosa. We'll see, but that's a possibility. But
Why not?
I'm doing
Number
something that's
4.
unprecedented anywhere on any podcast that you've ever listened to in your entire life. I'm double dipping Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year.
I love it. Well, people agree with you on that. On the Defensive Player of the Year, Brian Jones under the helmet, Simon, all those guys.
I had your boy too, though, for comeback. I had CMC. It was a tight. But I mean, how many times can CMC keep coming back? I mean, after a while, he has to like disqualify himself from.
Yeah, right. I know. Coach of the Year, somebody that we once knew would love this right now, and I'm going with because I think Jackson.
Don't do it!
Crazy.
Don't do it! I can hear him now. He's cheering somewhere.
Can you hear me now? Liam Cohen is going to be the Coach of the Year because he's going to take Jacksonville from the depths of hell and raise them up into heaven, into the pearly gates and everything like that.
Wow.
Beautiful. Jacksonville coming back this year. Liam Cohen, a big reason why.
That's awesome. That is, I mean, he's here. I'll say this, and this is a very generic statement. He has just as good a chance as anybody. But let's just look at a couple of what you said. Let's see what his real quick. He's plus 1,200. What I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
So that's actually not that bad. So that tells me that there's some people out there that agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm going with Dave Canales. No, I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. Nope. I'm going with. It's just sentimental for me. I think the guy's going to be not yet. Duval under the helmet. You're reading my mind, my friend. My Coach of the Year is that guy from the New England Patriots. I was torn between him and potentially what Aaron Glenn can do, but like I said, I think with New England, potentially, they're like my 8th team in the AFC as far as playoffs. So if somebody slips, New England, I think, is going to get in. I think Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel wins Coach of the Year. And plus, there's a lot of people that just love him, so they may vote on him even if New England doesn't do all that great. Or make the playoffs. Especially if they pull off something like win double-digit games and not make the playoffs. I think Mike Vrabel is that guy. I was thinking initially like, maybe Ben Johnson, but I think it's too soon for him. Sean Payton. Somebody in the chat said Harbaugh. Yeah. And I can't really argue too much with Liam Cohen if they go on to make the playoffs and enter the pearly gates the way that you said. Yeah. But guys like Sirianni's not going to win it. Reed's not going to win it just because people expect them to do whatever. They're up, but I think Mike Vrabel, and if I had to pick a dark horse, it would probably be I could probably roll with Liam Cohen, but it's probably going to be Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals.
I was thinking him too because of their record. I was back and forth of Gannon and Liam Cohen. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, not sure. What's Steve was saying? Casino got rid of William Hill, opened up a sportsbook yesterday. That's interesting. Very
wow.
All right, offensive
rookie
of the year and defensive rookie of the year. We're gonna.
How about Dable? Maybe.
Look. Even though, I mean, again,
they win 8 games. If they win 8-9 games, absolutely.
Who?
Well, no, he already won Coach of the Year.
Who did?
He's been Coach of the Year already. Dable. Yeah, they're not gonna give it to him again. Unfortunately, but I like where you're going under the helmet.
Probably not. But I think for offensive rookie of the year, the only reason why they're going to give him the ball probably 325 times, Barkley, Napa, Ashton
They're
Jett.
going to run his legs off.
Oh, they're going to kill him.
He'll be 10 inches shorter by the end of the season. That's why.
They're going to destroy him, man.
So we both agree on that guy from the Raiders?
Yep, Ashton Jett. He's the guy. They're going to run him down and run him up. But for Defensive Player of the Year, you're going to love this one. This guy is complete. That defensive line, he is tearing it up. I know it's only preseason, but you can see what he is bringing. Abdul Carter, I would love to go with the dark horse like I did last year with Jared Verse. He was my dark horse last year, and he actually won. But Abdul Carter is abnormal. And I don't think that Travis Hunter is going to play enough on defense to put his name into the bucket. So I'm going with Abdul Carter, bro.
So here, let's do this. So here's what, on this show, we allow leeway a little bit. So if you had to pick because a defensive rookie of the year, which for whatever reason, there's no award for that. I understand that, but I think on this show we should establish that, because that's what I was alluding to before we started the show, because you're going to love who I pick for my defensive rookie of the year. So if you want to pick Abdul Carter for your defensive rookie of the year, that still leaves you a spot for your actual defensive player of the year among the veterans.
So who do we got then?
So for me, my defensive rookie of the year is your boy, 6'5", playing under Robert Saleh's defense, Mykel Williams.
Oh,
I think you talk about a guy that scares. I think in Robert Saleh's defense, I think he's going to be a freaking monster. And I'm not 49ers fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm looking forward to see him and what he can do on the field. Just physically, he's a freak. And I think when you get the right type of coach, and Saleh's a very good defensive coach, I think in that system, I think he's going to be pretty damn good. So Mykel Williams is my defensive rookie of the year. Aiden Hutchinson is my defensive player of the year amongst like veterans and guys that have been there already.
Did not see that one coming, my friend.
I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd like that.
I do. Oh, I like it a lot, man. Very nice. I picked one of you guys. You picked one of mine.
There you go. That's how we do. That's what we do.
That's what we do. You know what I mean? You forget about it. That's what we do around here. I love it. I love it. Getting a little dark horse for Jalen Walker from the Falcons out there, as they mentioned a couple of times. Yeah, you never know. They've also picked up James Pierce, another defensive end. So maybe
that was the one that I thought the Lions were going to. That's the guy from Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, people were talking about he was a bad teammate and this, that, and the other. You know what? At the end of the day, you get into a group of grown men in your locker room, and all of that little bad teammate shit goes out of the window really quick. Really quick. When you got a grown man, 35 years old, 30 years old, telling you to get your act together, right? He's just as big and strong as you. You're going to do it. Yeah, like I heard Micah Parsons, and not a great locker room guy, but nobody cares because he's a freaking monster and he's just out of control. So it's like, go do what you want to do. It don't matter. Lawrence Taylor, guys like that, whatever. But as long as you show up on Sunday.
That's it.
Or Saturday, or Thursday, or Monday, or in Brazil, or in Germany, or in the UK. Come on, NFL. What are we doing?
Or if you're Tom Coughlin, you better be there 15 minutes early.
Hey, real quick on a little news note, ESPN, the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN Bet.
Yeah.
So the when people start talking about fixed games and rigged and all that other good stuff, they may start having a point. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think the NFL needs to keep their hands out of being directly involved with all these betting circles. Yeah. It's just not a good look, whether you're rigging games or fixing outcomes or whatever. It's just not a good look. And you and I both know that in this world, perception is everything. And if people, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a fixed game. Oh, man.
Real quick before we get out of here, we had a quick question from Under the Helmet. Yeah, we did a league together, Prime and I. So we have our teams right now. Prime, you got your team up?
Let me give me 26 seconds.
All right, I'll do mine real quick. So I have Baker Mayfield as my quarterback, but I got Tua as a backup. CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, Brock Bowers, DK Metcalf, Andrew Jones. Then I got J.K. Dobbins, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Addison when he gets back, Charbonnet, and Mims. I don't know, under the helmet. What do you think of that?
So let's see. So I have my start. I got Josh Allen. I got Malik Neighbors, Cortland Sutton. I got Kyron Williams and James Conner. I got Kyle Pitts. Flex guys, I got Zay Flowers, TJ Hawkinson. My defense, I got Philly. My kicker, I have Harrison Butker. I have Javonte Williams, Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren, Quinshon Judkins. Justin Fields was an accidental pick. Time ran out on me on the draft, and Jalen Reed rounding out my fantasy team. I kind of, now that I look back, I kind of like my starters and my flex. My bench could have been a little bit stronger, but it was my first fantasy league in 7 years, and I think I'm going to do okay. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go against Prophet in the very first game in our league. So he already told me I'm starting off 0-1, and so we'll see.
Under the helmet, loving why they got Taylor at the flex and Bowers at the tight end. Yep, you may be in a little bit of trouble over there, but he also says that you got a good team as well. So it's going to be a tough one.
That Justin Fields shit is going to come back to haunt me, especially
get rid of him.
Especially because he has the same bye as Josh Allen. So I'm going to have a week where I don't even have a freaking starting quarterback.
You're going to get rid of him, that's all. Or maybe you won't. Maybe just be able to rip it up. Who knows?
Well, but if your prophecy holds up, I might keep him.
Yeah, there you go. And usually, being the sports prophet, the prophecy does hold. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope Kamara goes off. I'm scared about him too. I know. I'm a little. I don't know, but I drafted him like in the 5th round. I went tight end and wide receiver heavy, so we'll see. But I got other guys I can mix in there. It's all right. We'll see. And I am the captain of the waiver wire. But anyway, Brian, this was fun, brother. We got everything is out there. You have your Super Bowl. Remind us again.
What's that?
Your Super Bowl.
My Super Bowl. Oh, you just want to hear me say it just for Jimmy G's sake. I have the Baltimore Ravens and the LA Rams in the Super Bowl.
All right. And
asterisk.
I got Baltimore and the Lions in the Super Bowl. And it'll probably be none of them, but I can't wait to find out what happens.
Right. So you guys will look back on this show 4 weeks into the season, like you guys are total idiots. But you know what? Right. Come on the show and do better. We invite everybody. Come on the show. Come on, give us your opinions. Call in. Actually, and I was thinking about, I'm going to talk to Jason about this off the air. I'm thinking about maybe doing a space this week because Mr. Primetime 313 is coming off of a 5-1 college weekend. So I know Prophet's not really big on that, but we also, I'm going to be doing some picks. Prophet and I will be doing some picks to kind of hopefully this year maybe, put a few bucks in your pocket. So we will definitely put that out there. Just so be looking on X. And look for the invites. It'll probably be what would be probably the best night for you, Prophet, Friday night maybe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I know you're, so yeah. So just be on the lookout. We'll put it out there, let you know. But maybe not even. It might not even be this first week. We might kind of just let things go, see how things pan out. But yeah, I definitely want to start getting into that. So, as always, we thank everybody in the chat. You guys were awesome tonight. You guys really kept us engaged, kept this thing flowing. Prophet, as always, my friend, it's always a pleasure and an honor doing a show with you. I'm looking forward to week 1, whether I get my ass kicked or not. We'll still be back here on Tuesday as friends. So make sure you tell all your friends. Right. Make sure you tell all your friends. Tuesday nights now. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. YouTube. Power 32 podcast is in the house.
No doubt. We appreciate y'all showing up. Love you. Nothing but love all day, all night, every day, all day long. We got you, baby. Power 32. We appreciate it. Thank you guys in the chat.
You
Get
see
it up as
Simon,
always, baby.
he says he's got inside information. That's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to give you a call, Simon. Drop me your phone.
Well,
number.
no, so here Simon says that, and this is no bullshit, and Simon can vouch for this. I went. What was that 1 week, Simon? 18-1 between college and pros. I was like 64-7 or something like that. I was killing them last.
Damn.
Yeah.
Boy, shit.
Oh, there's Steve-O parting shot. Way to go, man. You know what, Steve-O? You know what, man? We're gonna go out to, you know what? Bye, Steve-O. Love you.
All right. We love you all. Peace. Right here. We'll
Peace
see you
out.
next time.